Yo, what's up, everybody? We are here with a good friend of ours, Edd Razzell, and we just did a marketing deep dive, and we're like, hey, you know what? Let's get a video with Edd, because if we know one thing to be true, Edd is a guy who follows through with his word, and just the importance of that in terms of building relationships and also helping you out with your business. So, Edd, thank you for joining us here today, man, and the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? So, in this video, we're just going to talk a little bit about the importance of integrity. As young entrepreneurs, it can be quite easy if you're sitting there on your own to just think to yourself, okay, I promised myself I was going to do this thing. I was going to, do this thing for marketing my business. I was going to go to this networking event. I was, going to go to the gym, or you make some kind of deal with yourself. When it gets to the day, and if you feel like you don't want to do it, it can be quite easy to just say to yourself, oh, you know what, I'm feeling a bit lazy today, or I don't really want to do it. I feel a bit socially anxious. I don't want to go. It's quite easy when you haven't told anyone and you just thought about these things to just go, all right, I'm not going to do it. I know I've been there. I think it's quite a common thing for people to do. But it is really important, if you make a deal with yourself, to follow through with those deals, because it builds self-esteem, it builds self-trust, and if you can trust yourself, it becomes a lot easier to get things done. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and you've got good experience of previously doing those things, it becomes a lot easier to follow through. So making deals with yourself and being a man or woman of your word to yourself really helps to build integrity and to build authenticity in the way you act with people. And it's really important as well, not only when you do that internally, but to also do it with others. If you tell people you're going to do something, and then you actually build a track record of doing those things, people know you're going to do what you'll say you're going to do. And at that point, people will trust you more. And once people trust you more, you get better social relationships, and it becomes a lot easier to navigate in the world, right? In order to make money and live a successful and authentic life, it's really important to be able to have good social relationships, right? There's no kind of making money in a dark room on your own. It involves meeting other people and speaking to other people. So it becomes really important to be a man or woman of your word, because if you're not, for the most part, people won't tell you. If people catch you out as a liar, or people catch you out, or if you don't even have self-trust in yourself because you've been breaking your word too much, it becomes really easy to for people just kind of walk away. People to just leave you alone. People to not really want to be around you anymore. But they're not going to tell you that to their face, are you? It's way too confrontational. People aren't going to go and tell that to someone. I think everyone knows someone who's been like that, someone who's not followed through with something, and just thought a tiny bit less of them as a result. People aren't going to tell you that if you do it. So it's really important to always do what you say you're going to do, even if you don't want to do it anymore on the day. Really important to kind of have that integrity and self-belief and self-trust in order to navigate the world. And I think that's a really important lesson for people to know, even if it does sound quite basic.
Mm-hmm. That's really, really powerful, Edd. And another thing that I know about you while we have you here is that you are a person, not only do you have really strong integrity, but because of your really strong integrity and the way that you find ethics in business and ethics in entrepreneurship really important, you find that leading with value is really powerful as well, which is crazy because you just gave us 2 hours of pure value without expecting anything in return whatsoever.
3 hours.
3 hours. Yes, 3 hours. So can you talk a little bit more about that and why that's so important?
So about the importance of just being valuable to those around you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and how you use that to build relationships.
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a really important element there in, if you are valuable to those around you, people just find it fun to be around you, kind of thing, right? There's that, at least I believe there seems to be a very important kind of social role in being someone who just helps other people out. People want to be around someone who's helpful and useful, right? Even if they don't consciously think it at the front of their mind, in our kind of tribal way of thinking, right? Humans act in tribes. We're all very social creatures. It's how we survived back in the time of lions in the wild, right? If there was one lion versus one human, that one human's got to be pretty muscly and big if he wants to beat that one lion, right? And not everyone can be really muscly and big. So humans as a society would get together and tribe together, and the ones who didn't would die off. So it's important when you're in that tribe and you're in your group to be someone who's useful. I think personally for me, that's just a way of being satisfied with life, right? I want to feel good about myself, and to feel good about myself, I want to help people out. And sometimes helping people out is easy. Sometimes the things you can do to help people are actually really low cost to yourself. To sit there and talk about things for a couple of hours to help someone with their business can be really valuable for them, but it can also be really valuable for yourself too, right? If you can do something of easy value to someone else, you can use it as a way to kind of think through problems for yourself. Like, you know, I help you guys for 3 hours, but I get stuff out of it too. Like, I'm not, I don't do it just for helping out, right? There's a slight like selfish element you can apply to it, right? Where it helps me think through problems. Like to be able to think through aloud things and sit there and just kind of engage the motor of your brain and engage it in someone else's business and think about like what they're doing. It doesn't even have to be business, right? It can just be anything kind of interpersonal. It can be just something that someone has a problem with and you want to help them out with that problem. You can just work out like, oh, what can I do to help this person? If you've got the you know, credibility, know-how and experience to help them, which I'm sure a lot of your audience does, right? Your audience like to focus on helping people. Your audience like to be ambitious and to work out where like other people are they can meet who are also on the same kind of journey as them and are looking to kind of improve their lives over the long term, right? So just being able to help people out over the long term, I think is a really important thing. And I think if people think like this, instead of thinking about like, oh yeah, I can make a bunch of money short term, like I want to get to 6 figures in 90 days, like I want to make some short term money, yeah, like, you know, that can get people to purchase things. But I think thinking long term about like, oh, I'm going to put off this immediate reward. I can go for the one like marshmallow now, or I could put that off and go for 2 marshmallows later, kind of thing. People who can put off the immediate gratification and go for that kind of long-term thing and help other people out, not necessarily like immediate benefit to themselves, but rather because they know it's going to help people out over the long term, statistically end up having more successful and more fulfilled lives with a higher quality of life. Like you live better as a result.
And on that, just to tie some things in, when you become a person who follows through with your word and you start to build yourself, you are going to become more valuable, and you're going to be able to provide more value for other people. So just to tie those two things in together, by following through with your word, with what you say you're going to do, that allows you to really build those other relationships. So everything starts with yourself. Keep that word to yourself, and it starts with little things. Maybe you are struggling with really being able to follow through what you say you're going to do. Well, how about this? When you say you're going to get up at 8 a.m., thank you so much. Woo!
This is how we help each other out.
Woo! My arm was tired. Oh my God. So,
you volunteering?
Yeah. So if you say you're going to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Start following through with those little things. Little by little, build yourself up. Don't expect to go from 0 to 100. Build that muscle. You get better. You become more valuable. You're able to give more, and you're able to open up more opportunities, more adventures in your life, better relationships. Like, just things will happen that you can't even imagine. And thank you for taking the time to come here today, my man. Where can people find you?
My @ is @Edd Razzell, so EDDRAZZELL. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Those are the 2 main social media platforms I use. Everything else I try and delete. Like, I'm trying to be off like my social media nowadays, man. Like,
yeah, that's amazing. Go ahead, give him a follow. And if you got some value from this video, go ahead and comment down below. What was the biggest thing you got from this video? Go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, hit that bell button so you can get notified every single time we drop some hot value like this. And we'll see you in the next video.